everyone's making videos about the best AI tools to make you rich. But here's what they don't tell you. Just using a few shiny new tools won't get you anywhere. I've been a CEO, investor, and board member for AI companies worth billions. And after seeing what actually works, I can tell you this. If you want the fastest way to get rich with AI, it's not about using tools. It's about building a flywheel. In this video, I'll show you the 10 AI tools I would use today to outsmart your competition, speed up everything, and make millions. Let's start with the first thing every business needs: leads. Most businesses don't fail because the product is bad or their competition is stronger. They fail because they can't find enough of the right people to sell to. But here's what nobody tells you. Most founders focus on vanity metrics, like lead volume, not lead quality. I was sitting in a board meeting where the CMO walked us through how they generate so many leads. Great conversion from prospect to suspect. And I asked, what was their cost for customer acquisition? And it was embarrassingly high. Most lead gen is broken for the same reason. The math is brutal. For every 1,000 emails you send, maybe 10 people will respond and one might buy. So for lead gen, you don't need a telescope, you need a microscope. That's why our first tool is Apollo, the AI sales engine built for targeted prospecting. Apollo helps you narrow the funnel, even before you send the first email. For example, you could say, I want all CTOs of fintech companies with less than 500 employees based in New York and New Jersey. And it will pull hundreds of contacts. Now you have a target list. Now you can run as many experiments as you want. Apollo helps you figure out your ideal customer persona first, and then enrich the target list. Now, the second lead gen tool is Clay. This one adds the human layer. It enriches your list with real-world data. And it's a tool that even the hypergrowth companies like OpenAI use for their revenue growth. So let's say if you have a list of prospects, Clay will find their emails, their job titles, work experience, education, press mentions, social media profiles, and more. The more you know about the leads, the more personalized your outreach will be, and higher the rate of response will be. When your prospects see that you've done your homework, even if they don't reply immediately, even if they send you to spam, you have planted a seed. When they're ready to buy, you'll be the one they remember. But generating leads is only the beginning. If you want to make real money, you've got to warm them up fast. The research shows that when someone visits your website and you respond within 5 minutes, you're 100 times more likely to reach that prospect. Wait for half an hour and they've moved on. But here's the surprising number. Only 7% of companies ever respond with that speed. When I served as the chief revenue officer of a tech company, I learned it the hard way. The team had built a great lead gen engine. Our product demo was smoking hot. The prospects would get really excited, but we had not invested in lead nurturing. My fault. We let the leads go cold. That's the silent gap where revenue disappears. That's why the tool number 3 is Brevo. That's for responses. This is your digital sales rep who never forgets to follow up. Most leads need about 6 to 8 gentle touches before they respond. Brevo makes sure those touches actually happen. It's simple, it's visual, and it helps you run email campaigns. You can set up the entire nurture sequence. And tools like Brevo can also track engagement and prioritize the warmer leads. Once Brevo warms them up, pair it with an AI scheduling tool like Calendly to remove all the friction from scheduling. No back and forth, no lag. You send one link, your prospect picks a timing that works for them, and both calendars are synced. The meeting actually happens. Now, a note of caution. If you have a handful of high-value leads, please reach out personally. Nothing beats the human touch. Here's what most people forget. Your nurture emails are competing with 200 other emails in their inbox. If you're not teaching them something, they're not listening to you. The goal of nurturing isn't to stay on schedule. It's to stay in their head. That's the only way you'll close the deal. This is a critical step where many businesses choke, right when success is one signature away. A Gartner study showed that 60% of deals fall through after purchase intent is clear. Why? Friction. Every extra step, every delay kills the momentum. So let's talk about tools that remove that friction. You have to deliver on 3 crucial pillars to close the deal: proposal, pipeline, payment. That's why our 4th tool is Gamma. You can use that to accelerate your proposals and your presentations. Gamma takes all your words, your big ideas, your strategy docs, meeting notes, rough outlines, and turns them into visual outputs: decks, PDFs, social posts, web pages. And here's why that matters. The human brain loves visuals. Research shows that we remember 65% of what we see in visuals compared to only 15% of what we read in words. This is why all AI models have invested so much in converting text into images. That's what Gamma delivers. If you want attention from your customers or from your team, then make your pitch visual. So try Gamma. Just type in simple English in the prompt: I want to build a fashion brand that empowers customers and is friendly to the environment. In under a minute, Gamma will auto-generate layouts, charts, and callouts and make the entire presentation. You want to change anything? Again, just type in English. Add a graph on how recycled fabric cuts down carbon emission. And there it is. Gamma can take you from premature ideas to a polished presentations in a few minutes. Our next tool, Airtable, is about the second pillar, the deal pipeline. I was working with a startup that's worth about $20 million in revenue, and they were still running everything in Google Docs and Sheets, from pipeline management to process management to revenue recognition, all of it. It was pure chaos. To avoid that fate, once you have enough leads and deals, move to something like Airtable. It gives you just enough structure: views, filters, automations, without the overhead of a full CRM or customer relationship management platforms like HubSpot or Salesforce. Here's what it looks like in action. You start very simple, right? Start with a blank Airtable base called Pipeline Tracker. Now each row becomes a new lead. Add whatever you know: company name, contact, stage, deal value, next action. Fast and simple. That takes us to our 6th tool, Stripe. And that is about our final pillar, payment. Stripe handles all types of revenue models: one-time payments, subscriptions, pay in installments. It's used by millions of small businesses. Companies like Notion and Figma use it. Hyperscalers like Anthropic and Google use it. All of them are fans of Stripe. When I was the CEO, we had a team called Revenue Operations, or RevOps. That team had 3 full-time people, just reconciling payment data across systems. Today, you don't have to spend $360,000 to run your RevOps team. Put it in product development or marketing instead. Now, you can just use Stripe. Deal closing is about removing friction. The tools in this section are the fastest way to go from let's talk to let's go. But closing the deal is only half the battle. The real test of any business is delivery. And now even that can be automated with AI. A McKinsey research found that fast, reliable delivery is the strongest driver for repeat purchase in digital commerce. Consumers are 2.5 times more likely to buy again if you deliver within 24 hours of purchase. And that's why Amazon Prime is like a drug to so many. It delivers before you have time to change your mind. There are 2 types of product deliveries that matter in today's digital economy: apps and assets. Our tool number 7 is Lovable for delivering apps. With Lovable, you don't need to know how to code. Lovable builds working apps from plain language prompts. You just describe what you want. in natural English or any other language. Say you're building a business for local fitness studios and you need a page on your website, and you can just type, build me a lead capture page with a sign up form and Stripe checkout. Lovable will build all the hooks, the whole thing, with layout, logic, payments, all included. Then you say, oh, add a pricing page and connect it with a sign-up page. Done. 2 years ago, that process would have taken weeks of back and forth with your designers, with your business managers, with your product managers, with your coders. Now it's you and your keyboard. And there is more. If you're technical or building something very complex, you can graduate to AI coding tools like Cursor or Replit to build deeper functionality. But Lovable compresses the time from idea to impact, so you can ship a product Steve Jobs would call insanely great. Tool number 8 is Gumroad. If you're selling digital assets like online courses or a Notion template, ebooks, design packs, then Gumroad is your merchant that handles everything. You upload your digital assets and set it up, and Gumroad will deliver it to all your customers once they click on Buy Now. It collects payments in most currencies, it can manage taxes, it can send receipts. If you're running a lean digital business, Gumroad is your invisible warehouse. Easy, instant, automatic, and global. Now that you got tools to generate leads, nurture leads, close deals, deliver your products, it's time to automate the whole system so your business runs without you. Many founders fail to realize that most processes break at the handoff point between apps. A customer asks for a refund, but the email reply never goes out. A lead signs up, but your CRM never updates because the apps don't talk to each other. Automation is the relay race that passes the baton from one app to the next without dropping it. There are 2 major players you need to know about: Zapier and N8N. There are many others, but here's my simple map. Zapier for your first 100 automations after you've learned how each process works. And then you can move to N8N when you need power, cost control, data control, and AI reasoning at scale. Tool number 9 then is Zapier. Now, this is the OG of automation. It's been around for a while. It connects with more than 7,000 apps, so all the apps in your system can finally talk to each other. If your workflow is simple, like when a lead fills a form, add them to Google Sheets, alert me on Slack, and send a welcome email, Zapier is perfect. It's fast, it's stable, it's beginner friendly. The interface feels a little bit clunky, a little dated, but they're working on it. One thing to note, it charges per task, so costs rise quickly as you scale with Zapier. Which brings us to our tool number 10, N8N. When you're automating thousands of tasks or want control over data and costs, N8N is your upgrade. It even comes with a new AI workflow builder that will design your entire workflow for you. All you do is give instructions, again, in plain English. I call it vibe automation, building workflows by simply chatting with the tool. This is the future of workflow automation, 0 to 60 in 60 seconds. Here's the most important takeaway. If you're building your business, you just need to know when to use what. And once you do, you can start seeing real growth happening when you link them together, when every process feeds the next. In other words, when you build a flywheel. You see, the best businesses don't sprint, they spin. They build flywheels where every rotation makes the next one easier and faster. The 10 tools that we talked about should make the flywheel turn faster. Imagine this: Apollo finds your next lead. Clay enriches it with context. Brevo keeps them warm until they're ready. Calendly books the meeting. Gamma turns your meeting notes into a polished proposal. Airtable then tracks the deal through every stage. Stripe takes care of the payment. Lovable builds the product or service in hours. Gumroad will deliver your digital assets automatically. And tools like N8N or Zapier will make sure every step triggers the next. This loop will never stop, even while you're sleeping. Leads create sales, Sales create delivery. Delivery creates reputation. Reputation drives more leads. That is the flywheel. That's your business learning how to run faster with each spin, all by itself. But here are 3 things you must watch out for. First, when I advise companies nowadays, I tell them the goal isn't to pick the perfect tool. You can pick good enough tools and run them repeatedly until you learn what actually matters. Second, clarity beats complexity. The better you understand the process you're automating, the better your results. And finally, if you are overwhelmed with all this tech mumbo jumbo of API this and agentic model that, please don't be. Today, if you have a clear idea of what you want to build, anything from Lovable to N8N will build it for you. It's a great time to start a business, but you have to be okay to stumble a lot, at first at least. So here's my invitation. Start with 1 or 2 of your favorite tools. Give it some time, play with it. The initial hurdle and discomfort that you might feel, that's the natural part of growth. Every new growth feels painful until it doesn't. Because these AI tools aren't here to just debug your processes. They're here to debug your mind. If you like this video, here's another one that I think you'll enjoy. Thank you, and I love you.